every single word that you say as a woman in leadership? Perhaps you have been in boardroom meetings or meetings with stakeholders or meetings with some of your business partners or even with some of your colleagues, and you find yourself feeling just frozen because you have so much to say but you don't know what to say. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you real strategies that can help you to stop overthinking every word that you have to say and start speaking with more clarity and with a bit more ease so you don't feel like you have to overthink everything. Now, if this sounds like a topic that is interesting to you, feel free to place a thumbs up on this particular video. It does help it to get out to more people, especially as it relates to the world of YouTube. And if this is a content that perhaps you want to dive more into, then feel free to subscribe to the channel. I talk about a lot of really great content as it relates to being a woman in leadership and communicating at that higher level, whether you're in interviews or you're going for promotions or having interviews or etc. There are a lot of people that are in my audience, particularly on YouTube and LinkedIn, that are not in the category of women in leadership in terms of who I directly serve. But I'm so glad that you are a part of my audience as well, because I know if you're watching my videos or subscribe to my channel, you really do care about how you are presenting yourself as a leader, and I want to help support you on your journey as well. Now, this is a live video. I'm going to go into a few strategies to help you stop overthinking, and I do want you all to place your comments in the comment section below. If you are watching this portion of the video, then you are watching the replay. And if you are not attending live, there is typically a point where people join. I will say hello to everyone because I'm glad they're here. So just bear with me for a few moments. I say hello, I greet everyone, and then we'll go right into these strategies to help you stop thinking or overthinking every single word and helping you to be able to speak with more clarity and with more ease. This is a problem that people have and they struggle with oftentimes. And I want to share with you why this is a struggle, particularly for people that are in leadership roles and women in leadership. But before I do that, let me say hello to everyone that has joined. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here today. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world that you are joining from today. And if you have some questions about overthinking and you want to prevent yourself from overthinking, this is a serious conversation. So this is a serious conversation for people that are trying to elevate themselves as leaders and trying to communicate at a higher level. So if you like this content, this title, then you should subscribe to the channel to learn a lot more about how you can stand out from your peers by the way that you communicate. So I want to say hello to Zort and hello Mafura. Hello, welcome, welcome. And Jason, hello, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here today. Let me know what part of the world you're joining in today and what questions you have about overthinking every word. This is something that happens a lot to individuals that are in leadership roles. And I'm going to talk to you a bit about strategies that can help you to stop overthinking. And then we're also, of course, going to dive into why this happens. So oftentimes as leaders, we are placed in the spotlight. And if you have been in any leadership role for any amount of time, people are always watching you as a leader. They want to know, what does the leader say? What does the leader have to say? And oftentimes when we're in those leadership roles, we do feel like there's a microscope on us in terms of what we say. And so we do have to be very, very cautious in terms of how we communicate, because we want to be able to communicate the right message to our teams, to our businesses, to our stakeholders, board members, or etc. that we're working with. So you do have that sense sometimes that you feel like you just need to overthink everything. That is normal. It is normal. And as a leader, you do have to be mindful of what you say and how you say it. So what are some things that you can start doing to help you not overthink every single word and help you to position yourself as someone who speaks with ease and speaks with clarity in those very high stakes, high pressure situations? So I want to share with you over my 20 years of experience as a C-suite executive, a manager, and a director, and a public speaker to help you be able to stop overthinking so much. So if you're ready, then let me know if you are ready, and we're going to go right into these strategies. So the first strategy I want to share with you is how you present yourself is very important in these meetings. You want to present yourself as a person that is very organized and highly organized in not only the way that they speak, but highly organized in your thoughts. The only way that you're able to present yourself at that high level is to plan ahead. Typically, when you are in leadership roles, you have some idea, even if it's a little bit, about what this meeting is going to be about. Now, there's times where you may not know what this meeting is about, and I'll talk more about those situations in a moment. But majority of the time, you have some insight in terms of what is this meeting going to be discussing. So take a few moments, and even if it's a few seconds, think about what is it that I need to talk about in this particular meeting, and what specifically can I start preparing for in case I'm asked a question about it. It might be a project that you're working on. It could be an initiative that you're starting. It could be another role that you are taking on. It could be a lot of things, but just take a few moments to think about what it is you need to talk about in this particular meeting. I found that if you prepare in advance, you don't have to overthink as much. You're not sitting there in the meeting just waiting for someone to call you, and in your mind is just going because you're not quite sure of what it is specifically that you need to say. If you try to plan in advance, it takes a bit of the stress off of you as a leader so that you don't feel like you're having to overthink every single word that you end up saying. Now, I personally do this regardless of what meeting I do, and I'll share with you my personal strategy that I do. And it is not anything very complicated. As I mentioned in the very beginning of my video, in many of my videos, I'm here to provide you with no fluff. This is real strategies, real techniques that have helped me over the years. And a lot of times on YouTube, you're going to get a lot of fluff. I'm sharing with you real strategies. And this is literally what I do before every meeting I have. Even if it's a very casual meeting, even if it's a meeting that is last minute, this is what I do. This is literally what I do. If I have a meeting that I know I'm going to have, I will literally get a sticky note. This is my sticky note, my hand, and a pen, and I will write down 2 or 3 points I need to say in this meeting or topics. I have found for me personally, and you can use this and let me know in the comments below. If you try this out, how do you feel in your meeting? Do you feel less stressed? Let me know in the comments below if this works for you. But I have found that for me personally, I learn through different ways. And when I'm trying to organize my thoughts, if I put my mind and I actually write down, let's say a topic would be sales, or a topic could be leadership communication, I will remember that this is the overall topic that I need to talk about in this particular meeting. And I don't feel like I have to overthink because I already know what I'm going to talk about. I literally do this for every single meeting that I have if I have not had the chance to prepare for it in advance. But if I have an idea as to what we're going to talk about, I will definitely write them on a sticky note. That is my way of remembering I need to talk about these 2 topics, and that's it. This is a great way to present yourself as someone who is communicating with clarity, communicating with ease, because you're not sitting there thinking, what should I say? Interrupting yourself when you're talking, saying, let me think about this, or let me think this through. You don't need to do that if you plan ahead. If you plan ahead and determine what it is you want to talk about, this will help you to not overthink it when you're actually in that high stakes meeting. You already know immediately, this is what I got to talk about. I need to talk about this topic and this topic. And it presents you as a very organized person. So that's my first strategy I would share with you to help you to stop overthinking when you are in those very high stakes, high pressure situations that we come up with and experience every single day in the wonderful world of leadership. Now, another strategy that I have found to be very helpful is the following. So you have some topics in mind. You've maybe taken my suggestion and you've written them down on a sticky note, maybe 1 or 2 topics you need to talk about in the meeting so that you don't appear as if you're overthinking. Now, let's say if there's a situation that comes up last minute meeting, you do not have time to prepare. Before I go into that, I have a video here. It's a live video. It is actually one of my most watched live videos called Think on Your Feet. This has about 200 views on it, I believe, so far. And it is a great video to watch in conjunction with this live to help you start thinking on your feet, because that is what I'm alluding to with this next strategy. So there's going to be situations that come up where you don't know about the meeting. The meeting is very last minute. You have not had time to pull the sticky note out, to get a pen, to write anything down. This happens oftentimes as leaders. And let me know in the comments below, has this ever happened to you as a leader? And how many times? I know for me personally, I can say countless times. I have no idea how many times this happened to me as a leader, but I want to share with you how you can still present yourself as someone that speaks with clarity, that speaks with ease, even in those last minute situations, so you don't feel like you're overthinking. The one part about this I want to share with you in terms of this strategy is you want to place yourself in a position where you know a lot about a little bit of everything. So you should have some idea about many projects that are going on. Take some time, because this helps you to prepare for those scenarios when they come up where you are having to think on your feet, so you don't overthink it. So take some time, know a bit about the projects your organization is working on, or some of the initiatives in your department or in your business, or perhaps in other businesses or trends, just to know if something comes up, you can always pull that information out of your mind and speak about it intelligently, so it doesn't appear that you're overthinking, and it appears that you're very organized and you're very clear in your response. One of the things you can do to buy yourself some time, if you need to think of a response in those very last minute situations, is to say, what I'm hearing is this. And you want to restate what somebody's asking you or what they are maybe discussing. You could also say, my concern is this, and talk about what you are concerned about as it relates to this topic. So this doesn't appear that you're overthinking, because you're buying yourself some time to process what is being asked of you if it is a last minute meeting and you just have not simply had the time to prepare. Another statement that you can mention is, in addition to the ones I've mentioned to you so far, so feel free to write those down, is that you can also say, my first take or my first initial thoughts on this subject are, or is, includes this. Or another good one is, I have observed this, whatever that may be. Or you could also say that I have done some research about blank, the topic. And you could also say, I have reviewed several articles on blank, whatever the topic is. All of these items, these statements I'm mentioning to you, truly do help you to not overthink, because if you can have these templated responses, as I would say, in your mind, when you have those situations come up where this is a last minute meeting, you do not have time to prepare, you have a little bit of knowledge or a lot of knowledge in your mind about different things or different initiatives or projects that you can easily talk about, it makes it come across as you are that leader, that person who is very, very straightforward, that can communicate at a higher level than their peers, and that is that person who can speak with clarity, with ease, and not overthink every single word they say. I have been in meetings where I have noticed, and you can tell when someone is overthinking. They may say, I'm not sure how to say this, because what are they doing? They're thinking in their mind of what they want to say. Or they may say, well, I don't know. I have to really think this through. Same thing. They're just overthinking. They're overthinking what they need to say. When sometimes you just need to say what it is you need to say. But always be mindful of the many things that I talk to you about here on this channel in terms of how you communicate and what you are saying. How you say it and what you say are very important. How you say it is even more important. If you can start to master some of these skills, which is why I hope that you are subscribed to my channel, because you will learn how to master these skills in these very complex situations that come up. If you can start mastering these skills, then you place yourself in a situation to position yourself as a leader and truly enhance your executive presence and make that big impact on the world that you are looking to do. So if you are just joining this live, welcome. Glad you're here today. I have just went over a few strategies that can help you to stop overthinking every single word that you say and also be able to place yourself in a situation where you're speaking more with ease and more with clarity. So, a couple of things that we talked about were planning ahead, making sure that you are being more concise about what you're saying. The only way for you to do that is to plan ahead. I gave a great suggestion that I personally do every single meeting I have. So if you want to learn from a strategy that helps me prepare for any meeting, I do it literally for every meeting I have, and I mean every that I have a few moments in advance notice about. Try my strategy. Let me know how you like it, and if it works out, put it in the comments below. Let me know how it worked for you. So I talked about the strategy in terms of being able to plan ahead. The second strategy I mentioned to you was about knowing a lot of information about a lot of different things, because you can pull that information out during your conversations, especially if it's last minute, to be able to speak in a way that shows that you're not overthinking. You are just speaking with ease and with clarity. I talked about several different statements that I have personally used to, one, buy you some time to think and process what it is specifically you want to say in those particular scenarios, and then two, provide you with ways that you can come across as someone that is not overthinking what they need to say, but is very in tune, very articulate in how they want to communicate in such a way that where they sound very polished in their communication. Now, if this sounds like something that you are very interested in and you want to be more polished in how you communicate, then we can have a conversation to help you do that. Feel free to reach out to me for a executive strategy session. This is an opportunity for the two of us to work together where we have a very, very detailed, comprehensive discussion about where you are and where you want to be as a woman in leadership. And I will give you some guidance, and we'll come up with a very strategic plan, customized plan just for you to help you go to that next level. Now, if you are looking for that very big transformation, perhaps you're aspiring to go to a higher level of leadership, or maybe you are already at a higher level of leadership and you know that you are going to need to go to that next level, whether that is you're wanting to be a consultant, or perhaps you're wanting to be an entrepreneur and you need to work on how you are communicating with other people, then reach out to me. The Real Executive Woman is a transformative leadership experience that I have for my clients. It will absolutely help you to go from where you are to that next level in your career. There's 6 specific type of modules I have in the program. The modules that I have include establishing a baseline, where we talk about where you are, do some assessments there. The second is to develop unshakable confidence. The third module is to develop your executive communication skills, so how you are communicating not only in the written format but in verbal as well. The next module focuses heavily on public speaking essentials, because if you are trying to transition, regardless of where you are in your leadership journey, public speaking essentials is critically important. And we set you up with the basic things you need to know in terms of how you're communicating in public. How do you get the audience engaged in those type of scenarios? Then the fifth particular module that I have focuses on executive presence. This is a topic that there's information about, there's a lot of buzz about it online now, but this topic deserves a whole book by itself, which is something I'm actually working on, hopefully publishing this year. It will be a book specifically on executive presence. And then the final module is executive leadership. So that is when you're leading your teams and you're doing a lot more those bigger type of impact type of roles. And this is what the program is about. This is what the Real Executive Woman is about. So we go through these modules and you become very skilled in each one of them, depending on how comfortable you are in terms of your leadership role right now. So there's a lot of ways that we can work together. If this is a place, or if you're at a point in your career as a woman in leadership where you're ready to go to that next level and you want to try to elevate to go to wherever it is that you want to do or make that big impact on the world. So let me know. I do appreciate y'all for just being here today and being present for the live this evening. I just value your insight so much. If there's any topic specifically that you want to learn more information about, then place them in the comments below. I'll be happy to do a video just for you on that topic. And I appreciate you all for voting. One of the reasons why this topic is present is because you voted on it with my YouTube community post. So when you vote, I do listen. I do want to make sure I talk about these topics that are important to you. If there's any topics that are very important to you that I have not listed in any of my polls as it relates to communicating at a higher level, promotions, salary, executive presence, managing difficult conversations, dealing with high stakes meetings, dealing with office politics, let me know. I will do videos just for you to help you elevate on your journey. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I did want to say that Friday is July the 4th, so more than likely it's a holiday here in the US. I more than likely may not be doing a live on the 4th. I know I will be doing a live tomorrow. I'm trying to keep up with doing my lives every day. But if I'm not live on Friday, I will provide you with some insights or some other videos to watch. One video that I do highly recommend for you all to watch, if you are new to me, my name is Dr. Jacinta, and I have been doing a lot of things over the past 20 years as it relates to leadership. But one of the videos that I would encourage you to watch that is a priceless video that anyone should watch, regardless of where they are on their leadership journey, is to think on your feet. This is one of my most watched lives that you definitely want to check out because it will provide you with some good strategies. And if you want me to go deeper into Think on Your Feet, then let me know in the comments below. I can go deep on Think on Your Feet. I can talk about Think on Your Feet literally for an entire day. I could literally talk about it that long. So let me know. Let me know how I can support you, how I can help you on your journey. If you have not subscribed to the channel by now, then what are you waiting for? If you really are trying to elevate yourself and go to that next level, then this is the place for you to be. I provide very real strategies, very real scenarios that actually happen in the world of leadership. You will not hear me talk about this leadership model, this hypothesis, this particular leadership study. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm sharing with you real serious situations that have been battle tested, that I have experienced, very friendly and unfriendly conversations in situations that will help you to be able to fast track yourself so that you don't make mistakes that I made, so you can go to that next level in your career. So I hope you all have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me know if you need any support, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.